February 2024 was pretty barren when it came to new playable MMOs. We had Remember of Majesty, which really nobody I know tried. Scars of Honor released a test phase, which I got to participate in, and was a surprisingly significant improvement over the product that I played over in Bulgaria when we were flown out there to test it. Mad World released onto Steam, and that went over horrendously, to the surprise of no one. The Quinfall, well, you know what? We're not even going to talk about that. And Reign of Guilds, which was met with a rain of tears of sheer and utter disappointment. March, thankfully, looks significantly better in terms of games available to us, and for the first time this year, there might be something to really sink a little bit of time into. Hey, my name is Steaks, and welcome back to another episode of MMOs releasing next month, a video series that I do every single month where I take the time to make you aware of everything releasing in the coming 30 days in an effort to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. If you enjoy the series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment letting me know what you're most excited for, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification, that way you don't miss out on anything that I post, and I post every single week. Plus I kind of enjoy chatting to some of you guys in the comment section. If you're curious what came out last month, or really at any month over the course of the last year, consider checking out any video in this series. Other than that, let's just go ahead and jump right in. Let's kickstart this off with Vindictus, or rather the just announced sequel to Vindictus, Vindictus Defying Fate. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are, because you heard that correctly. The devs behind Vindictus, an action MMO that has, for all intents and purposes, been far ahead of its time, have confirmed that they are in the process of not only developing a sequel to the MMO, but they are already entering pre-alpha testing. According to the Steam page, the game is listed as an action RPG full of excrement. I mean, wait, no, sorry, I read that incorrectly. It is an action full RPG full of excitement. Moving on. Defy the fate and create your own path. Fight your way through the journey filled with challenging combats. Waiting at this admittedly should have been spell checked prior to launching this, but I mean, you know what, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to judge him for this. Judging by the screenshots, though, it is clear that the game looks very impressive. The original Vindictus MMO still holds up really well, even in 2024. Not necessarily the environment, but the character models, the character abilities, and the gameplay are all still staples of the action genre. It is unconfirmed exactly what kind of game this will be, if it'll be more open world or instead reprise the setting of its predecessor in the form of a hub world. Regardless, the Steam summary lists being able to navigate a 3D world with the ability to create your own character, customizing them with high quality outfits, and a more progressive combat system than is currently available. The only sad thing, to me personally anyway, is that this isn't an MMO. Although, is that really sad? Maybe it isn't sad. Maybe it being a single player or multiplayer RPG, it's unconfirmed right now, is better. The very first test phase, a pre-alpha test, will be going live Wednesday, March 13th, and will run through Monday, March 18th. Now, if you're curious and want to learn more about the game, I do have a dedicated video for it coming very soon, so I'd keep an eye out for that. Myth of Empires is an MMO, but at the same time, it's kind of not. Like, you guys know when companies advertise themselves as an MMO and then they turn out to either be some kind of hub-based multiplayer game or survival game with hundreds of players occupying a server concurrently. That is very much the case with Myth of Empires. According to Angela Game, Myth of Empires is an immersive sandbox survival MMO developed by Angela Game and published by Imperium Interactive Entertainment, available worldwide on PC via Steam. So, who am I to argue that this isn't an MMO? Now, Myth of Empires has a little bit of a rocky history, with the accusations levied against them over alleged copyright infringement, stealing from Ark Survival Evolved, but things seem to have been resolved, and they now have fully launched with version 1.0. This is a buy-to-play game with a base price of $40. There are already purchasable DLC available, with more DLC promised in the future. Players will be offered a full sandbox world with infinite freedom. You can recruit NPCs, you can tame wildlife, wage war against animals, other players, entire servers, and cross-server battles. The game honestly looks like a lot of fun and is mostly positively received over on Steam. Before we discuss the remainder of MMOs launching in March 2024, allow me to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon. Your guys' support is why I can continue making videos like this every single month, and I deeply appreciate you all being there for me. If you're looking for an incredible Pokemon game that you can play with other people, you're probably better off playing Palworld. If you're looking for an incredible Pokemon MMO, then you're probably better off playing Temtem. But if you have played both of them and are looking for a Pokemon MMO that you have never played, then Duel Revolution might be what you're after. Duel Revolution is a 2D creature collecting MMORPG. Duel Revolution promises a very different take on Pokemon, with over 50 creatures to collect at present, individual skill trees, full PvE and PvP contests. Game Matter, yes, much like Game Freak, is the two-man team behind the game and have confirmed it will be ready to fully launch on Friday, March 1st. The MMO is available on Steam and mobile devices, offering full cross-platform support. And just hear me out here. For an MMO that looks and plays like this, I think it will definitely open the game up to a significantly larger potential player base rather than being a detriment to the game. But at the same time, that also opens it up to potentially having much more predatory business models. According to the Steam page, you can catch and train 50 unique Evo. There are intense real-time duels, a skill tree-based leveling system with 12 meaningful levels, full character customization. Honestly, this does look and sound like a great concept, and I look forward to trying the game out. Dark Olympus, Goddess of Darkness. Wait, hold on, is that Dark Olympus, Goddess of Darkness? Okay, yeah, that's an interesting title. Is a cross-platform MMO that just released. According to the official website, players can freely explore a dark mythical world. Unfortunately, with no mention of whether it's going to be open or feature segregated zones, there are a total of 4 classes to choose between: the warrior, the archer, the mage, and the priest. They list being able to, quote-unquote here, awaken your power and allow for you to, I really don't know how this relates, but become a pirate, a maid, or a rock singer. I'm not entirely certain what that means. Advanced jobs? You could become you're like a maid. A maid is an advanced job, maybe? Or, yeah. I don't really know. There are outfits, there is PvE and PvP game modes, there are guild bases. Unfortunately, from what I can see online, while the game definitely looks great aesthetically, character models look fantastic up close, and during character creation, the game itself seems more targeted towards mobile players rather than PC players, which is a state the cross-platform genre is in at present. If it is built with mobile compatibility, it's likely mobile focused with PC as an afterthought. The game just launched, so if this is something that you like the look of, then I urge you to go ahead and try it out. If you've ever played Dungeon Fighter Online, you'll immediately recognize the kind of game that this is, as Astra describes themselves as a visually stunning, story-rich, violent 2D action RPG brawler, where players tackle numerous dungeons instances much in the way you would a dungeon crawler. It seems very dark, filled with gruesome action combat, with the devs touting their fluid 2D combat with powerful skills and dodge rolling. What's more, Astra is not a single player game. I know it's also not technically an MMO either, but it does allow for up to 4 Knights of Veda to be present in a group, so crossplay with up to 3 other players is possible, allowing full cooperative play, rewarding players by allowing them to explore and progress together. The reason I included this here is because a lot of people I know are kind of gravitating towards multiplayer content, whether that's 2-player multiplayer, 4-player multiplayer, or 100-player multiplayer content rather than MMOs. So rather than just disregard this in its entirety, I would rather give you guys the option to choose whether this is something you're interested in or not. Now, ASTRA is opening pre-registration on March 5th, 2024, with a release coming shortly after. And that is all 5 MMOs or MMO-ish games that I'm aware of that are releasing in some form and are playable in March 2024. There's a lot to be excited for, and some we're going to want to immediately pass on, but hopefully March provides you something to have some fun in. Again, if you're interested, I urge you to check one of the videos on screen right now for more MMO goodness.